Hello princesses! Today I'm going to be talking about the Saem Saemmul Mousse Candy Tints. Now I talked about these twice in December in 2017. The first time I talked about them because I found 5 that were in this pink packaging. The second time I found the limited edition Minnie Mouse packaging and didn't realise that they were exactly the same colours apart from number 6, which was slightly different, so then I had 2 reviews on them, and then I realised one of my commenters told me after I had released the one that had 5 of these that there were another 5 shades that I hadn't bought. And then when I went to buy them in February the next year, so a couple of months afterwards, they had just, like the day that I was going to buy them, had released 3 more shades, which you couldn't purchase internationally yet. So I was like, forget them, I'll do it later. So now I have finally got all 13 shades of them, and I'm going to show you all of the colours because, yeah, I was missing 7 of them before in a mammoth lip swatch video, which I've already swatched and my lips hurt after that. Today I am wearing them. I am wearing a mixture of number 8, which is Apricot, which I have put down and I don't know where it is, and number 10, which is Strawberry Cheese Mousse, to make this really pretty like pinky peachy colour, which I have actually been wearing quite a lot recently. I think it's probably like the nicest lip colour on me. I wish I didn't have to mix them, but you know, those are the breaks. I actually need to dig through like my Petty tints to see if I have like a dupe for this colour, because I'm sure I do. I'm looking at myself in the mirror, by the way, not just at the floor. So the product description for these says, light mousse texture expresses the face brightly with the vivid colours. Stay coating layer maintains the vivid colours with moisturising ingredients. The vivid colours with fruity and fresh scents refresh the lips vividly. So most of the tints I have the really cute baby pink packaging, but some of them have the limited edition red Minnie Mouse packaging, which was from 2017. I don't think you can get this packaging anymore, but what is inside the packaging is exactly the same, so it really doesn't matter. But the packaging in general is shaped like a little sweet. It is a candy tint, so they're shaped like little bonbons basically. They stack pretty well, so you can stack them upright like this, which is important for me because my lipstick collection, although depleted at the moment, is still pretty big, and I need to make sure that I can store them nicely. So if they don't stand up nicely, I tend to sell them because otherwise, like, it's impossible to put them anywhere. There are 13 shades in the collection and the shade range is pretty wide, but they are missing some pretty basic colours. So like things like the very light baby pink, they don't really have that. They have 4 red shades, which I think is a little bit over the top, but I do really enjoy the inclusion of that really dark red shade, which is dark cherry. I think one of the really interesting colours is also peanut. It's definitely not a colour for me, but if you like a burnt orange, then that's one that you should definitely have a look at. In general, they all have a really beautiful velvety formula that works well on dry lips, and they last pretty well throughout the day, though of course if you eat something they are going to come off. A lot of them do stain quite nicely, but there are certain ones that stain much more than others. So like number 2, Strawberry Mousse, and number 6, which is Chai Tea Mousse, those ones stain really quickly, so my lips go like bright pink, which is really bizarre, but like a lot of them, like Grapefruit and the Apricot, the orange shades, really don't stain that much. It's the ones that look pink that stain the most. So the first shade is a red Mango Mousse, and this is a beautiful warm toned red shade. This is a really pretty classic shade, but it has a really unusual scent and taste, and I find it really unpleasant, to be honest. It smells like really bitter. Like, I guess it does kind of smell like mangoes, red mangoes, but I really don't enjoy the taste of that. I find that these tints are really easy to apply. The doe foot is the perfect shape. They pick up a little bit too much for me in general, but it's pretty easy to wipe off the excess around the rim. I do find that the handle is a little bit tedious to hold sometimes because it is quite small, but at least it's quite like wide, so you can get a good handle on it. I really enjoy wearing red Mousse Mango. I think that it is really flattering to my skin tone. Strawberry Mousse is a beautiful warm-toned strawberry shade. This shade looks a little bit more red than it does pink, but it is still a really pretty shade nonetheless, and I do get quite a lot of wear out of it. This is one of the shades that really stains my lips, but I still really like using it. I find that the texture of these tints is really similar to the Petty ink Velvet tints, not the Airy tints, not the Cloud tints, but the original ink tints. But I do find that these last quite a lot longer on my lips. They are ever so slightly thicker in texture and more mousse-like, and I find that that really helps with them staying on my lips. Carrot is a bright orange shade that I absolutely hate. Unsurprisingly, carrot is not my favourite colour, and it is the one that I pretty much never wear, and I was kind of annoyed because I'd done the review for these really early because I scheduled everything really early in December and I'd sold this one, and then I realized that I had to rebuy it because I had to do the reviews again, and I was like, such a waste. Like, it's such a waste. At least it can go to another secondary good home because I've used this for the swatches and that is literally it. But yeah, no, I don't enjoy carrot as a colour. I don't think anybody is surprised at this by this point though. It does smell nice though. It smells like oranges. You know, it's not that bad. I can't imagine a carrot scented lipstick. Number 4 is Grapefruit Mousse, which is a beautiful pastel peach shade. This shade is really similar to Apricot, but Apricot is ever so slightly darker, but they are the same sort of like peachy shade. It's a really, really nice shade actually, and Grapefruit is one of the ones that I get quite a lot of wear out of, as well as Apricot. I wear Apricot if I want something just a little bit more dark. There's a word for that and it's called darker. Well done. I apologise for the lighting, which is going down drastically. I'm trying our best to get through it. So this is Grapefruit, and then that is Apricot. So you can see the similarities. Apricot is slightly pinker, and then Grapefruit is slightly lighter. But in all reality, if you're choosing between the two, you probably don't need both. And I'll show you closer swatches at the end when I've done all of the other red shades. Number 5 is Yoghurt Berry, which is a really beautiful mid-toned pink. This is more of a cool-toned pink than Strawberry is, so they are definitely different. But they also have a slightly different texture as well. I find that Yoghurt Berry is a little bit thinner in texture. It's less of a mousse-like texture. It's the same as the raspberry one at the very end, which is really strange. So I find that this one doesn't last as long on my lips as a lot of the others do. Number 6 is Chai Tea Mousse, which is probably one of the most unique shades, and I actually have learnt to love it over the past year. It's kind of like a dusty rose mauve shade, and I really, really, really like it. To start with, I wasn't quite so sure because I've never had something that's so like mauvey mauve before. Like, it's quite dark for what I would normally wear, but I think it is really flattering on my skin tone and I get so much wear out of it. It does smell a lot like tea though. If you like tea, you'd love it. I don't like tea, so I'm kind of like every time I put it on, but that's okay, that's just me. The descriptions for these are getting shorter and shorter as we go along because there's only so much you can say about the lipstick 13 times. Shade number 7 is called Dark Cherry, and this is one of the most interesting shades in the range for me. I'm going to say that about the other one. This is the deepest shade in the range, and it's a really, really deep brick sort of red. I don't think that this one suits me that much. I prefer like a really deep like blue red or like a purple red. I think that the brick red doesn't look that great on me. I think that it emphasizes how yellow my skin can look. However, I do appreciate that there is a darker shade in the range because a lot of the time with K-beauty ranges, it's like, here's a pink, here's an orange, here's a red, you're done. Apricot Mousse is the pretty peach shade that is a little bit darker in colour than Grapefruit and a little bit pinker too. I get so much wear out of this. I was expecting Apricot to be a really, really light orange colour, and I was really not looking forward to it because that's in my mind what apricot shades are. But I've been pleasantly surprised by this one, and it is one that I wear all the time. I absolutely enjoy it. And it has a really lovely, like, super sweet scent. For me, it smells like peaches, and I don't know why they didn't just call this peach mousse. But, I mean, I'm not in charge of naming them, so. But that's what I would have called it. Another one of the interesting shades is Peanut Mousse, which is number 9. Yes, I got my numbering right. I have never seen something described as a peanut colour, and to me this is definitely not what peanuts look like. Please ensure that you're reading this as peanuts. I know my accent is terrible. Get it in before the comments say anything else. It literally smells like peanuts too. Like, I don't know. I never thought that I'd ever try a lipstick that tastes like peanuts. But here we are. Really trying to accentuate that as peanuts. I don't personally like this shade. I don't think it looks good on me, but I appreciate that it is something different. It's a really pretty burnt orange or like pumpkin color, and I think that a lot of princesses that are going to be quite into fall around this time of year as well would really, really like this color. I think it's really unique, and again, the formula, I really love them all. So if you like your burnt oranges, Peanut is the shade for you. Number 10 is one that I wear all the time, which is Strawberry Cheese Mousse. This is also the one that Rose Shop sent me a used tester for it, and I had to wait another like 2 weeks for them to send me an actual new one because I was not going to put a used tester on my lips. I think that's so gross. I don't understand how people can go to like the stores and look at the like used like lipstick testers and be like, yeah, that's totally fine. I can't do it. Strawberry Cheese Mousse is quite similar to Strawberry Mousse, yeah, one of them's got cheese in it. It is slightly lighter and slightly more of a warm toned pink, but you know, like we're starting to repeat colors now. It's also quite similar to Apricot Mousse. So that is Strawberry Mousse there. And again, I'm going to show you closer up at the end and point out all of them as well. So that is strawberry cheese and that is strawberry. You can kind of see from here that Strawberry Mousse is a bit more red, and then strawberry cheese is a little bit more of like a blue toned lighter pink. I'm starting to cut it fine here with the colors. And we have Strawberry Cheese Mousse is one that I wear all the time. It's a great color for me. It's a good standard and it just looks good with all my outfits. So I find it really easy if I don't know what I'm wearing in the morning to just put it on and be like, done. That way I feel like I can move on with my day rather than like putting on like a statement lip and then like putting on a pastel like outfit and then having to like change something. Doesn't work. Tomato Mousse is a bright orange toned red. This one smells odd. I don't think it smells like tomatoes, but I don't know what it smells like. It kind of smells like the red mousse mango actually. This is a really pretty shade. I personally prefer blue toned reds, but I still think it looks nice on me anyway. This is going to be the longest video of all time. My camera is about to time out. But I feel like I don't have anything like overwhelmingly positive or negative to say about it. It's an orange toned red and that's pretty much it. Slightly lighter than a red mousse mango, but again, we're cutting it pretty fine here. Then we have Apple Mousse, which is a blue toned red. So I like Apple Mousse. My phone vibrating onto the side of my glass of Coke. I really enjoy Apple Mousse. I think it's probably the more flattering out of all of the reds for me, so it's the one I wear the most. Plus it smells like fresh apples, like, you know that really fake apple scent that just makes you really happy? There's this one. This one is also quite similar to red mousse mango, so I'm going to swatch them all for you. I'm going to run out of room on a hand, but that's okay. So we have Apple Mousse, which is that one there. Then we have Tomato Mousse, which is there. We have red mousse mango, that's red mousse mango there. And then just for good measure, let's put in dark cherry so you can see how dark it is in comparison. Like, it's really cool. So that is dark cherry on the side of my wrist there. So you can see, like, I mean, they're similar, don't get me wrong. You could have all of them, they're not the same, but you know, they are really similar. And the lucky last is raspberry, which is shade number 13. This one smells really nice, but it has that weird, like, thinner texture to it. I like the smell of that one. Honestly, you can just make compilations of me sniffing products. It's going to be weird. This one has a slightly thinner texture, so I feel like it's not quite as pigmented as some of the other colours on my lips. It just doesn't have the thickness to it, but I still think that it works really, really well, and it's a really nice colour. It's not really that similar to anything. Like, I guess if we were comparing them, no, like it's a pretty standout blue-pink colour. Like, it's really like a classic fuchsia pink. Oh my god, I can smell it. It's so bad. So that one's really pretty. So I'm going to show you some close-ups now. So this is Grapefruit Mousse, Apricot Mousse. You can see it's slightly darker and slightly more pink toned. This is Strawberry Cheese Mousse versus Strawberry Mousse. It's ever so slightly pinker. This is a bit more of a red colour. That's raspberry. Doesn't, I mean, like, it kind of goes with strawberry cheese, but not really, no. This is Apple Mousse, so that is the blue toned red. Tomato Mousse, just the orange toned. This is Red Mousse Mango, which is the Red Mango Mousse, I can't remember. That is the darker orange tone, so see, those ones are quite similar, but that is darker. And then on the end, awkwardly, that is the dark cherry. So it's similar to the orange tones, but it's way, way, way darker. So all in all, I absolutely adore the packaging of these products. I think it is so cute, although I did have a little bit of trouble finding which one I wanted. They do have like their little fruits down the side and the name, but other than that, it can be a little bit difficult because they all just look like the same sort of thing, apart from obviously the ones that are red. Those are pretty easy. I really like the colour range. I think that it's pretty broad, although they could have used some really light pink or really, really light oranges in there as well. I think that having like the 4 red shades is a little bit of overkill, but I guess you've got a good variety of reds if you ever wanted them. But I also find that these tints are really good if you have dry lips and you're looking for a moussey formula. It doesn't cling to any of the patches, although it does better if your lips are more smooth. But what doesn't do better if your lips are smooth? It still looks really, really nice and flattering, and it doesn't make your lips look like wrinkly prunes, because mine are totally guilty of doing that to me at all times, which I hate. The only shade that I dislike out of this range is Carrot, for obvious reasons. It's like a bright orange, and it just I just don't think it looks good on my skin. Like, no offense to you if you like oranges, like, you do you, boo, but I just don't think it looks good on me. I don't like it. But it's the only one out of 13 that I don't like. I don't love peanut or dark cherry. Like, I can wear them, but I don't enjoy wearing them, but I don't actively dislike them. But I do think it's really nice to have that variety, because a lot of the other KBD lipsticks do not have that variety, although we are getting a lot better these days. Before, like when I started blogging, it was literally like the same 3 tints. They're always water tints and like always the same color. Like, there was no variety. And water tints look horrific on my lips because they're dry. I'm going to be reviewing the Holika Holika Holipop water tints next month. Yeah. And I need to do the swatches for them, but I'm resisting doing them because they just look so bad. They look so bad on my lips. But yeah, that is it for this review. I really like these tints. I would thoroughly recommend them if you're looking for a mousse sort of textured tint along the lines of these colors. I don't think you need all of them, but I think there is a good variety of colors. I mean, like if you really want an orange toned like red, go for tomato. If you want the blue toned red, go for apple. There are differences in the colors. They're not identical. Like the Peri Peri ones were pretty much identical. So I think that the Saem has done a really good job with these, and I really like them. So thank you guys so much for watching this review, and I will see you next time. Bye!